Okay, everybody, I've been trying to find a way to talk about this now for days. Really, just other than my suspension for a little bit. This whole thing with Hamas attacking Israel, then Israel countering, I'm going to try to talk about it in a way that makes sense. First of all, this has been going on since the 80s. Going on since I was a little kid. Gaza or the Palestinians or whoever it is they like to claim is responsible attacks Israel. Israel used to just put up with it. It was a thing back in the 80s. They would just put up with it. Another suicide bombing in Gaza. More rockets and mortars flying over into Israel from Gaza. Then they built the wall. Then they decided they were going to start fighting back. And then all of a sudden it's a horrible thing. Fucking bullshit. Look, if somebody's attacking you, it doesn't matter if they're attacking you from another house, another neighborhood, or another country. You got to deal with it, or else they'll just keep attacking you. These protests that I see a bunch of 20-somethings who have no idea of the scale of this conflict, how long it's been going on. It's been going on since the 60s. Okay, it's been going on since the 60s. Nothing has changed. It's just better weaponry now. Now, I hear people crying, oh, the poor Palestinian children. Oh, the poor Palestinian people. They're being bombed because of what Hamas did. They really don't understand. Look, this war is not an accounting of equivalent exchange, okay? War doesn't work like that. You don't sit up there and go, okay, you killed 3,000 of our people, we'll kill 3,000 of yours. That'll make it fair. But this is the mindset that I'm hearing from people. Why does Israel have to be so harsh? Oh no, that's really rough. Oh, some civilians died, some children died. What do you people think war is? This is not the law of equivalent exchange in Full Metal Alchemist, okay? You don't just figure out how you're going to make this fair. You go defeat your enemy. This reminds me, the way I see people reacting and talking about, Israel being disproportionate in dispensing destruction upon Hamas because Palestinian neighborhoods are getting blown up and everything else, which, for those of you who don't know, the Jewish people built. Everything in Gaza is built by the Israelis. We didn't build it, we Americans. None of the Europeans did. The Palestinians are too stupid. They really just, people, y'all got to understand this. This is not a war of equivalent exchange, okay? You're not going to be able to convince these guys that, okay, you took 3,000 of ours, we'll take 3,000 of yours, maybe 3,100. We'll call it fair. Nobody's going to do that, okay? Nobody's going to do that. Reminds me of the taste of Armageddon, a episode in Star Trek, in the old Star Trek series. Kirk, McCoy, and Spock are sent to a planet that's been having a civil war with another planet for the last 500 years or so. One of the first things that Spock detects while they're up in orbit is that there doesn't appear to be any fighting. And he's like, that's weird. If they're in a war with another planet for the last 500 years, shouldn't there be some evidence of scarring on the planet? Firing coming back and forth? The Enterprise is kind of warned, hey, be careful, don't come into the area. But the ambassador says, oh, don't worry about that, just go on in. So they go in and they beam down, and the guy one of the guys running the area, running the planet, tells them, oh, well, we counted your ship as being blown up in the war, so those are casualties. And like, what? We have machines running the war now. Oh. well, if you want to join the Federation, you're going to have to figure out a way to deal with this. And what is eventually shown is how they've dealt with a peaceful war, a humane war for the past 500 years, is that over the past 100, they literally have computers calculating out, both planets figured out, we can use machines to calculate out the variables of how many people would die if this strike happened, or this strike happened there, this strike happened here. So instead of actually, fighting one another, they just send people to vaporizers. They choose a random number of people, send them off to the vaporizers. That way, the war is always even. They're still having their war. People are dying in war, but there's no way to win the war. It's just perpetual killing each other game. It's sick. It is absolutely sick. So what Kirk does is he sabotages one of the vaporizers and also one of the computers. The leadership panics, saying, well, eventually the computers on the other side, at the other planet, are going to figure out somehow our machines went down or something, and we're going to be in trouble. And Kirk tells them, well, why don't you just contact the other side? Well, no, we can't do that. We've had this war going this way for hundreds of years. No. He said, you're going to have to get off your asses now and go talk to these people. You have to talk to them. Maybe you'll find a way to have peace if you go and talk to the other side, instead of just sitting back here waiting for machines to do all your work for you and kill you. It feels the same way here. That you've got these people who think that machines should be running this. That this is sort of a machine kind of thing. No, this is a very human condition kind of thing. It's a very human condition, and you can't break it down into equivalent numbers that make you feel good. So would you be okay if Israel went into Palestine and only shot every male over the age of 28 or 25? Let's be nicer, a little 24. You have to be 24 years or old. You have to be 25 years or older to get shot to death by the IDF. I am not advocating that. No, I don't like Israel bombing hospitals. No, I don't like Israel bombing orphanages or schools. But where are all the weaponry that Hamas uses? They're on top of schools. They're on top of hospitals. They're on top of churches. Yes, that's what they do. Been doing this for decades now, guys. Hezbollah, when it was running Israel, used to do that. I mean, running the Gaza Strip area, the Palestinian area. They used to do that. So this is nothing new. But people are shocked and chagrined. And the conservatives aren't sure, well, gosh, we support Israel, right? Yeah, but they're bombing civilians. But we support Israel, right? But they're bombing civilians. But are those civilians Hamas? Are they innocent Palestinians? Doesn't matter. They're civilians. It does matter if the civilian populace is the one attacking Israel. Well, how do you know that? There's plenty of innocent people that don't want to attack Israel. Yeah, but let me spell this out for you fucking retards here. Okay, let me spell this out for you. If the majority of your population wants to destroy the other population, it doesn't matter if he's 2 or 200. He's going to want to destroy you. He's going to be raised to destroy you. Where do you think Hamas gets all of these people from who are so willing to fight? You think they're shipping them in from the south, the northern Africans? No. These people are raising their children to want to go kill Israelis. So the Israelis look at it like this. You hit a hospital and you kill 50 children and 50 old people? Whoopsie poopsie. They don't care anymore. This war has been going on since the 60s. This war is 3 freaking generations old. And as long as the Palestinians keep having children and raising their kids to hate, to go and kill Israelis, kill Jews, guess what's going to happen? Their kids are going to go do it. So Israel's just gotten to a point where it's like, look, you know what? No, I don't care anymore. We don't care. Everybody's getting bombed. Everybody's getting slaughtered. Maybe once enough of you are dead, you'll want to come to the table, because I can tell you something about war with Islam. They don't respect you if you treat them nicely. They don't respect you if you take in POWs. It's a death cult of a religion when it comes down to war. And everyone who dies in almighty jihad for Allah gets to go to paradise. So you can run out there with a rock in your hand and get shot to death. As long as you work for jihad, you get to go to paradise. You folks have got to understand this. You're not dealing with people who think like you do, Americans. They don't think about war as some strategic thing. For them, this is a holy war. This is a divine war. This is a war where they get to go to heaven, whether they live or die, but mostly if they die. You can't argue with these people. When their priests are telling them, if you go out and get killed in jihad, everybody living in your household get to go to heaven too, including the 2-year-old. That's why they're not concerned. That's why you don't see Gaza protesting, guys, stop, please, we didn't mean it. No, these Palestinians, they're raising generations of kids to do this. 10 years from now, the kids that survived the last attack on Gaza in retaliation for what Gaznians did will be joining Hamas or whatever the new name of the new group is. This is just truth. You're just going to have to accept this, guys. Okay? I don't like it either, but for one, that ain't our region of the world. Let Israel handle it. Let Israel handle this. The best way for us to come out smelling like roses, because America's going to look bad if we keep intervening and interfering. We're already seeing it with the protests, where you have quote-unquote Palestinians supporters, really just Antifa college students, crying and screaming into the camera, innocent Palestinians are being killed. And I'm like, yeah, why do you care? They're over 6,000 miles away. They're not helping you. They want to cut your head off. You're all going to heaven anyway. Remember? Jihad. You died in jihad. So off to paradise you go. So, what is Israel doing? It's really just sending these guys to their just reward. Now, this ground war that they're getting ready to commence, good. Good idea. Then you can go in there and directly kill the Hamas people instead of just bombing indiscriminately. Make you look a little bit better. Plus, if you start bringing out, you start putting IDF troops on the ground and they start marching through there, Hamas is going to run in there. Yes, we get to kill the IDF. We get to kill more Jews. They'll just be practically orgasmic running into Gaza. They're coming out of their hidey holes everywhere and they'll get shot to death. Hopefully, no innocent children get shot to death. But if things go as badly as it did the last time I know the IDF went in there, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to explain this to you. Years ago, the IDF went in to deal with Hamas and some other problems. They had children attacking them in the street, throwing rocks at them. And by children, I mean little kids between the ages of 10 and 15. Imagine getting hit in the head with a rock, thrown by even a 10-year-old. It's going to hurt. So the Israeli soldiers started shooting. After a while, it was just like, look, first thing, oh my God, they just came in and shot innocent children. They're monsters. And the Israelis' only defense was, look, they were throwing rocks at us. You can be able to take rocks. Oh yeah, and they were also throwing Molotov cocktails and bottles with rocks in them. You can take that. They're just children. You've got on full body armor. You ever been hit in the head with a rock with full body armor on? It hurts. No, but shut up then. Basically what Israel said. Now it's just about to get worse. A lot of people are going to end up dying in this ground assault, and it ain't going to be Israelis. But that's the thing. America loves the underdogs in war. So they're sitting there going, oh, those poor Palestinians, they're the underdogs. No, they're the ones who started the conflict. They voted in Hamas, and Hamas has been claiming they're going to attack Israel soon, every chance they get. So your entire country voted in a bunch of terrorist lunatics, and now you're reaping the reward. Stop being stupid. This is the Palestinians' fault just as much as Hamas. They're just reaping the rewards. I don't like it. You don't like it. You think the Israelis love doing this? No, they don't. They'd rather want to get along with the neighbors that they've basically built an entire cityscape for them over the last 60 years. But what can you do? What can you do when your neighbors want to cut your head off? You cut theirs off first. Plain and simple as that. I thought I had some big thing I was going to explain all this for and talk about it for 20 or 30 minutes, or maybe make 2 or 3 videos. I really don't think I have to do that. I may talk about other things today, like my snazzy neon green color shirt that I decided to wear today. Well, I'll also talk about some other things. I'm going to look into getting a better camera. This camera seems kind of fuzzy now. It just doesn't look as good. All right, everybody. Have a good day.